Steve Harvill with Creative Ventures, and welcome to the latest edition in our video series, Did You Know? Before I get started, I just want to again say thank you to everyone for making this particular series one of the most popular things we've ever done. Thanks for sharing it over social media. Thanks for sharing it within your company. We are deeply appreciative of it. It's been fantastic. So now that the thank yous are gone, let's start with the story. It's 1500 BC. The pharaoh is concerned about the crops, and part of his job is to keep his people fed. It's an important part, and he knows that. So he calls in his shadow masters. Now, shadow masters are kind of a creepy name, but it was really the people that were familiar with the use of the sundial, measuring time by the sun's azimuth. And though really it was only good for measuring time during the day, the shadow masters had been doing it long enough that they knew when long days were coming, when short days were coming. It helped them foretell the seasonal changes and the best time to plant. You see, the pharaoh knew he needed an expert to help him make his decisions. In 1440, Johannes Gutenberg created the printing press. Time magazine considers it the #1 invention in the history of mankind, just ahead of the Oreo. So in Gutenberg's time, it took less than 40 years for 20 million volumes to be printed. Considering everything before that was done by hand, that's an unbelievable movement towards democratizing literature and knowledge. And the entrepreneurs of publishing houses and the early newspaper people all wanted to take advantage of it. But the problem was they didn't know how to work the printing press. And so they needed the help of experts, what were called print masters. They became unbelievably valuable for the shift in society that the distribution of knowledge made, thanks to Johannes Gutenberg. On November 6th, 1860, Abraham Lincoln was named the 16th president of the United States. And right at that moment of election, he became the only president in history, and to this day it remains the same, to have a U.S. patent issued in his name. Patent number 6469 was issued in May of 1849. And Lincoln had an idea of how to take boats that got trapped on sand bars in the rivers to lift them up and allow them to back out and change direction. Lincoln was a huge fan of the sciences. He had a firm understanding of Euclidean geometry. He had read everything that Aristotle and Socrates and Plato had written. He knew Knopf and Kepler from the physics and science of space. He was a fan of Copernicus. So during this time, he realized that to create the future American that he wanted, he needed to have experts. And so in 1863, he signs an act that forms the National Academy of Sciences, a singular place where scientists could get together and provide not only him and his government, but the American people unbiased looks at complicated issues. He stole the idea from England. In England had the Royal Academy. The Royal Academy is the oldest scientific organization in the world. It's founded in 1660. And during that time, it has had chairmen such as Isaac Newton and Michael Faraday and Stephen Hawking. It had the same mission that the National Academy of Sciences does, provide help, right? And Lincoln knew that the future of America and the future of the world was going to be aided by technology. Now, the National Academy of Sciences is now the National Academy of Sciences, Medicine, and Engineering. Its august body are scientists that have been elected by their peers for accomplishments in their field. Since its founding, there are over 500 Nobel Prize winners that have been members of the National Academy of Sciences. Now, he wasn't the only president to realize expertise was going to help him where he goes. Early on, even the third president, Thomas Jefferson, who was kind of an amateur paleontologist with a special interest in woolly mammoths, would get bones sent to him to help them identify what fossils or what creature these bones could have come from, and he went to experts to help him analyze that. He had quite a collection of fossils. FDR takes scientists from the National Academy of Sciences and sets up the Manhattan Project, finding the smartest people to tackle the goal of splitting the atom and releasing its energy. He also founded the National Cancer Institute. Truman finds the Atomic Energy Commission. Eisenhower founds NASA and DARPA. Kennedy used the expertise of the National Academy of Sciences to get to the moon. You see that there's this idea of having a home, a place for authoritative and unbiased thinking that can be tapped by leaders. You see, all leaders need experts. One of the tenets of great leadership is when a leader knows that what they don't know, where they can push aside their ego and be able to say, I need help in this area. Now, it's not only great leaders, but it's entrepreneurs that need the same thing. You see, leaders and entrepreneurs always recognize the glimmer of opportunity. But you see, they often lack the knowledge to tell if that glimmer of opportunity is actually fool's gold or the real thing. They're able to set aside their egos, be able to ask for help. And in finding all of these organizations to give us a firm understanding of what's going on in the world, to provide for us scientific research based on an unbiased level, to give us understanding of things that in the future are going to be commonplace. In the National Academy of Sciences, you found a quick understanding of microwaves. You found the understanding of magnetic resonance that led to MRI development. All of this comes from a knowledge of what you don't know. So think about this. Leveraging other person's knowledge combined with yours creates an opportunity unlike anything you can see as a leader. You should have a policy. You should know when to go for expertise. See, the future is only going to be based upon what we don't know now. And upon what we don't know now, we need a combination of a leader's drive and people who really understand something. That's the formula that will see the world to new horizons. Thanks for listening. I hope you continue to watch Did You Know, and I look forward to bringing you the next story. See you next time.